Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over how to make gold with Hallows End. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, come one, come all, this is my favourite time of year, is Hallows End. Love Halloween and all that jazz when it all comes to all of this stuff, and it's the 18th today and Hallows End has just started, and I look forward to this event every single year. It's because I love Hallows End, not even just for the realms of gold making, but also for just basically the theme and everything. I just love it. It's truly one of my favourite times in the actual game. So aside from that, we're actually going to be going over how to actually make some gold when it comes towards Hallows End and how you guys can best equip yourself in order to do that. So along with that, let's just get into number one. Okay, so starting off, we're going to be getting on with Coin of Many Faces. Now this is a toy that you can actually get from WoD, and basically all you have to do is head over to the WoD Shadow Moon Valley, and over in the coordinates of 39.4 to 79.4 in Shadow Moon Valley in WoD, there is pretty much a load of skeletons which are dotted around the area, along with a nice little ghost ship. Basically, what you're going to be wanting to do is actually killing them all, and you will get yourself the toy Coin of Many Faces. Now this subsequently drops in value during the event, but if you hold on to them for the next couple of months, afterwards you're able to actually sell them on for a bit more gold. So even if you did not fancy doing the farming for this actual thing, you could buy this cheap off the auction house during this event and then selling it on. But if you wanted a quick sale for your time invested, then definitely it's well worth your time just farming them up and just selling them. It really just depends on your priorities and which you really want to actually go about farming this toy up. Now aside from that, it has a drop chance from anywhere from like 2 to 5% depending on the mob that you're actually farming on. So bear in mind that the elite captain is 5% and everything else is really just roughly around about 2% drop chance for that. Aside from that, you will be killing a lot of these mobs, so it does add up quite quickly, and you will be able to get a decent amount of drops from this actual toy. Now, aside from all of that, let's move into number two, which is the Hallows End pets. Now, you have a wide variety of these, and quite frankly, we're right next to the vendor, so I'm actually going to go through them right now. So what you need to do is you've got to get hold of Tricky Treats. Now, Tricky Treats, you can actually trade those in, and we'll go on to how to accumulate these in a minute. But you can either get the Sinister Squashling, which is nothing. You do not want to buy the Sinister Squashling. The Feline Familiar sells pretty well. It's actually one of the decent ones to actually sell, as it's got one of the best sell rates. You've got the Cursed Berman, Widget the Departed, and Naxi. The best ones to actually farm up and sell, I would actually say, in my experience, is Widget the Departed and Naxi. The others are pretty much subsidiary. If you really wanted to farm those up and sell them, it's really best double checking what the actual battle pet is on your auction house before you actually farm this up. So bear in mind, I would actually recommend just double checking before you farm up loads and loads of Tricky Treats, as they do cost a lot to actually buy these battle pets. So it's just something to keep in mind before you even start doing that farm. Coming in at number three is another toy, and that is the Sack of Spectral Spiders. I actually said tigers beforehand. But aside from that, what you can actually do for this is go to your garrison and in WoD, and basically it will be outside of your actual garrison at the coordinates 73.6 to 36, and basically you'll be looking for a rare called Arachnis. This has a chance of dropping it around about 10% chance, and this usually averagely goes for around about 3 to 5%. This is a daily farm, so bear in mind the more ults you have the better, and it does require you to actually set up your garrison to at least level 3, so you can actually have the actual spawn outside of your garrison for that actual rare elite. Now aside from all of that, I would however recommend that you would camp this with your ults if you do wish to go down this route of farming this up, because 10% drop chance for something that sells for about 3 to 5k is pretty good in the grand scheme of things. Aside from that, I do find this to be a very easy way in order to get a hold of a toy that sells rather fast during this event. I wouldn't hold on to this, however, but if you wanted to sell this during the event, this is probably your prime time. Right at the beginning of the event is when it will start to sell the most, and that's when you want to double down with your alts and get on with that, so to speak. So that is something I would recommend going forward in the grand scheme of things, of farming up Arachnis for that stack of Spectral spiders. The next tip coming in at number 4 is buy low, sell high. This is the common trait of most gold making, especially when it comes towards flipping. And overall, I find this way to be very good when it comes to Hallows End. This is where you will actually look up all of these different types of things, such as like the battle pets, the toys, the sinister squashlings. Sinister squashlings are a disregard, but it's just an example there. And pretty much the coin of many faces is a very good safe bet, and that is like buying them up while the event is actually going and then selling them on later on within the year or the following year. This is because then the price will actually increase because the event's over and you can no longer get those things. Give it enough time past until such a time as the prices start to rise, you can actually make more gold for your time invested. You can always do this if you are farming or if you're just buying them flat off the auction house. Now I do this with the Lovers in the Air event with the mounts, but overall it works very well when it comes towards the battle pets and the toys that come along with Hallows End. Overall, it is a matter of seeing when the price drops quite considerably, and this is usually when the coin of many faces hits to about 1,000 gold is when everyone's farming it. Also, that is usually my little trigger for I should start buying stuff off the auction house, is when the coin of many faces drops to like 1,000 gold for one of those toys, because I know I can actually get a return on it in like 3 months, and that return is usually quite considerable in the grand scheme of things. So overall, what would I actually recommend? I would really recommend actually doing the buy low, sell high, even if you don't have a lot of gold, because the barrier to entry for this event is really low. So when it comes to like buying stuff off the auction house to resell, the only thing I would say, do not, I repeat, do not buy the Sinister Squashling. It is a bad battle pet that like drops all the time from the Headless Horseman, and yeah, you're going to be wanting to get like things like the Cursed Berman, Widget the Departed, and Naxi and the Feline Familiar. Sinister Squashling is off the table from this event like immediately. But aside from all of that, that is pretty much what I have to say for buying low and selling high. It's literally just that concept. It's usually around about midway during the event, so you got a week from now to actually to farm up, and then you do your buying like in the middle of the event. Now coming in at number 5, and this is in regards to tricky treats. Now tricky treats are something that you can always do, and this is how you can actually get a hold with these, because you're going to be using them to buy loads of the battle pets if you are farming them, and overall you're going to be wanting to know how to get a hold of these. So I thought I would actually tell you which ones actually give you the tricky treats, which is you have the Headless Horseman daily, can give you bonus tricky treats every single time you actually kill him, and if you've got a mass army of alts, that is really handy in the grand scheme of things. Remember that tricky treats are soul bound, so just remember when you're doing that or you're farming that up, that you actually are doing it on each character, and it builds up. Aside from that, you do have your daily quests, which are literally outside of your capital city. My one is in Stormwind right now, and obviously Undercity is going to be the place you're going to be wanting to go. And aside from that, this is definitely something that you can do, because you usually get around about 17 tricky treats per tomb per day, and that will build up quite considerably by the end of the event, as it usually runs for 14 days, and that equals in a high amount of tricky treats you can trade in for a battle pet. Aside from that, you can always take another route if you are feeling a little bit adventurous, and that means by going to every single innkeeper in the game and picking up the trick or treat with the innkeeper. You will either get rewarded with some tricky treats from a handful of treats, and also you can also get given a trick which turns you into like a frog or whatever, or curses you for like 5 minutes or something. Alongside that, it is the fastest way in order to actually get a hold of a load of tricky treats, as the majority of them, of the other methods on which to actually get a hold of tricky treats are dailies. And that means if you're going to be wanting to do it passively, the dailies is your best bet. But if you wanted to get them and just farm, then you're going to want to go to every single innkeeper in the game. Aside from all of that, guys, this is basically my favourite time of year. I'm actually going to start farming up now, and well, after I've edited this video. But aside from that, I love Hallows End. I'm going to be flying around the entire of the innkeepers and just going Eastern Kingdoms to Kalimdor, and then to Northrend, then everywhere. Basically, I'm going to be everywhere for the foreseeable future, as long as this event's going, because I generally love this event. I love all of the extra additional stuff you get to do with this event. Headless Horseman, love it, and just quite frankly is my favourite time of year within the game. It's yeah. It's better than Wintervale for me, and that's saying a lot because there's a stupidly overpriced mount that comes from the savage gifts on that one. So yeah, definitely my go-to event for making gold and just enjoying myself within the game. Other than that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. If you want to support the channel and help make the channel even better, then why not check out the Patreon? Members get additional info, gold making resources, and Patreon specific content. The link is located in the description down below. Thank you and have an awesome day.